Okay, so this is an old it's like a Q&A, and somebody asked Jake Roberts about the time he and Hulk Hogan were supposed to work a program. I'm going to give my thoughts on this because I watched the clip already, and it's interesting. Let me play the clip for you. This is from Title Match Wrestling's YouTube channel.
Like that. I don't mean like that.
What a piece of shit.
I don't mean like that. I don't mean like that.
You Bill Watts' buddy? I was working the main events. They tried to put me with Hogan, but you fans screwed me on that because he started chanting DDT, DDT after I dropped him. And Vince looked at me and he goes, man, that ain't going to fly. What do you mean it's not going to fly? Because they're cheering for you. So they're just happy that, whatever. And so we tried it in 2 towns. We sold out those cities, turned people away. And I said, there. Can't beat that. Not going to happen. Why? Because they're chanting for you. Does it fucking matter who they're chanting for? The seats are sold out. That's going to screw with our marketing. Yeah. So that was the end of that. So my job became getting the next bad guy ready for Hogan. So if Hogan was in Los Angeles, I would be in San Francisco. And getting beat by the next card was going to be Hogan versus this guy, that just beat me. But it was a lucrative job. I hated the fact that I was never given the belt, but that was a lot of my fault because of my addictions. I want to say this. I never meant to cheat the fans out of a good match. Even when I was high or hungover. In those instances, I would wind up going out there and giving you twice the time because I was so angry with myself that I'd allowed myself to be in not proper at the time. I often wonder how well it would have went if it had not had problems. Sometimes when you have problems, you learn a lot. And I certainly learned that alcohol and drugs aren't good for you and that it can hurt your career and it can hurt your family. The last one I care about. In the last 5 years, I've gotten myself back in the right world with the help of Diamond Dallas Page and others. I've been clean now for 5 years, and now that's one that I didn't think would ever happen.
Okay, I'm not sure when this was taken, but I hope Jake is still clean, and I know he's doing a lot better now than he was a long time ago. But that being said, going back to what he was talking about with his Hulk Hogan matches selling out, and then Vince McMahon was like, "Nope, that's not going to fly." That would never happen today. Even if Vince McMahon was in charge, that would never happen today. The 80s were a different time. The 80s were about Hulk Hogan being a superstar, larger than life, good guy. There was a shift at some point in the 90s when he did the Attitude Era. And ever since then, that wouldn't have flied. Even if you're trying to push Hulk Hogan as the top babyface and they start chanting for Jake, he's still going to make the money. It's just that it was a sign of different times. Now, it would have been a cool... I don't know. So, like, with Hulk Hogan, they kind of had him feud with guys who were, like, just these big, giant monsters of men. Like, he feuded with Andre the Giant, King Kong Bundy, Earthquake. Like, I think you're seeing the body type that he had these big feuds with. Just these huge, massive walls of men. And so then you got a guy like Jake, who did not have a bodybuilder body, let alone was like a massive, massive man. So it would be an interesting feud. You'd have somebody like Jake. I'm not saying he had a body like Randy Savage. Like, Randy Savage's body was great, but Jake was kind of like a similar size to Randy Savage. I'll put it that way. So it's not like Hulk Hogan never did that in a feud, but Jake might even be taller than Randy Savage, but as far as like body type goes, very similar. So it would have been an interesting Hulk Hogan feud, because he feuded with like King Kong Bundy, Andre the Giant. The Big Boss Man was in there. The Big Boss Man, compared to some of these guys, was a smaller guy. But yeah, then to feud with Jake, it would be a completely different style match. Maybe we could have saw Hulk Hogan actually wrestle. That would have been cool, like actual wrestling match. Because if you watch Hulk Hogan clips from Japan, it's completely different than Hulk Hogan WWE 1980s. Hulk could actually wrestle when given the chance. So maybe we were robbed of that. Maybe we could have saw Hulk Hogan actually work great matches for WWE in the 80s. That would have been different. Maybe if they kind of both stuck around in 92, maybe we would have got that feud. You can have that feud in 92 because Jake was the biggest heel in the company. When he turned on Ultimate Warrior, and then he had his feud with Randy Savage, you could argue that Jake was the biggest heel. Maybe if he stuck around and Hulk stuck around, because they both left, maybe we could have got that feud. That would have been cool. We could have finally got that feud in 92. I don't know. Just something to think about. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.